While the number of people who voted early for the general election set new records, millions more plan to cast their ballots today. And the presidential candidates wrapped up their campaigns in key swing states last night. Good morning. I'm Corum from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. It is Election Day, at last. Officials say that the number of people who voted early, in person, for the general election has shattered records nationally. But as NPR's Miles Parks reports, many people still vote on the first Tuesday of November.
Close to 80 million voters are expected to cast ballots today. And anytime that many people are doing the same thing on the same day, there will be hiccups. Whether it's power outages or websites crashing, experts say it's important to realize those are expected and not assume it means the process is rigged. Kentucky's Republican Secretary of State Michael Adams notes this is, after all, a process run by human beings.
In most of my counties, people go to church with the poll workers. They go to church with the county clerk. They see them at the grocery, right? Like, it's harder to accuse people of being crooks and stealing elections when you know them and you see them every day.
It could take officials a few days to tally enough votes to know who won the presidency. Miles Parks, NPR News, Washington.
Former President Donald Trump campaigned in several swing states yesterday. He started his very last rally after midnight this morning in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
This is it. This is the last one that we're going to have to do.
This is the third time Trump has closed out his presidential campaign in Grand Rapids. He spoke for about 2 hours this morning, castigating the Biden-Harris administration. Vice President Harris rallied for the last time in Philadelphia last night. NPR's Deepa Shivaram has more.
Harris's campaign says her rally in Philadelphia had 30,000 people, and the location was at the famous Rocky Steps outside the art museum that has the statue of the iconic movie character Rocky.
A tribute to those who start as the underdog and climb to victory.
Harris told the crowd that Pennsylvania will decide the election. On her way out of Philadelphia, when asked if she's confident if she'll win, she said her campaign is encouraging people to vote on Election Day. Deepa Shivaram, NPR News, Philadelphia.
Also at stake in this election is control of the U.S. Senate. That's where Democrats currently hold a narrow 51-49 majority. But Republicans are favored for a takeover. NPR's Susan Davis explains that's because the map tilts dramatically in the GOP's favor.
Of the 33 U.S. Senate seats up for election this year, Republicans are defending just 10, while Democrats are defending 23. To tip the balance of power in their favor, Republicans need to win just 2 of 3 conservative states, Montana, Ohio, and West Virginia. The two parties are also contesting close races in the blue wall states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, where the Senate races tend to fall in line with the presidential outcome. Democrats are defending seats in Nevada and Arizona, where they've had the edge in polls. There are only 2 Republican-held Senate seats that Democrats are trying to flip, Texas and Florida, but both are seen as long shots. Susan Davis, NPR News, Washington.
A man who successfully challenged a federal ban on bump stocks is getting back his gun enhancement devices. Michael Cargill spent more than 5 years challenging the Trump-era ban and finally prevailed in the Supreme Court last June. NPR's Nina Totenberg reports it took until this week for a federal court to carry out the high court's mandate.
President Trump ordered the ban on bump stocks in 2017 after a single gunman at a Las Vegas concert used multiple guns modified by bump stock devices to kill 60 people and injure 400, all in the space of 11 minutes. President Trump then ordered the ATF to re-examine whether bump stocks violated the 1934 banning machine guns, and the federal agency concluded that the devices illegally converted semi-automatic weapons into illegal machine guns. But the Supreme Court's conservative supermajority disagreed, saying the ATF had exceeded its authority. Now a federal judge has ordered the agency that seized the devices to return them to Mr. Cargill. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
This is NPR.